All right, so we're gonna do a reading for Cancer. Cancer, I'm seeing a person walking through water, like wading through water, almost like what you do when you fish, but you're just wading. It's almost like, but you're feeling really heavy, and it's at dusk. And there's a lot of noise in the background, so just know that I am not going to not do readings because there's noise in the background. Please don't leave a comment saying there's noise in the background. Like, obviously no. If you want to listen, cool. If you don't, cool. But these are messages that have to come out, and if anything, I would just take it as, like, you know, this is probably an extra addition to what's happening. There may be a lot going on in your life, or there may be some, it's like, again, I'm getting this image of someone like wading through water. It's really hard. So you may be feeling really heavy, or things around you are loud. Like, you might even be sensitive to what's going on. It's almost that feeling that you get when you have had too much to drink, and you know, then you lay on your bed and you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Or you know, do anything that is too much of anything, or even just being like exhausted from the heat and being at that brink of exhaustion. There's something that's putting you in this place that is you're very you're on the cusp of something. It's, let's see. Okay. So in the past, you were, okay. So in the past, something that you had a lot of faith in, like you were like running towards something that you had a lot of belief in, and it seems like it might have even, I'm also seeing someone like in the mountains, someone who's like running up a trail, or who's like biking in the mountains. Maybe you were just in an event. You could have been, yeah, I think that, so this is only for some people, but when I see these things, I want to just say them and just ignore them if they're not relevant, you know. But someone is an athlete, and you were in this place of like intense movement. There was a lot of dynamic movement, and it brought you some sort of sense of renewed faith, or some sort of like connection to your body and connection to nature that you hadn't had in a while. This was in the past, and like, as I'm saying, when I started this reading out, I saw someone who was walking in the water, and they were having a hard time walking in the water. So maybe you were testing yourself, and it looks like you might have been testing yourself in a positive way, like trying to push yourself to the extremes physically, because you're wanting to be able to be at your best for, it seems like it's your family. So you're putting yourself in this position where you are fully self-sufficient, and you are casting out any doubt that you have about your capacity. And this, like, that was the difficulty in moving into this position. Let's pull a card to show the linkage between working physically in whatever you were doing, and coming to this place now where then you can provide for your family. So you're this is about becoming your ultimate self. You're in a place right now that is great. You're trying to become the best of whoever it is that you can be. You're becoming who it is you can be, and you're looking at what you worked so hard for, and it's like so you've basically realized that you were working so hard for something, and you weren't getting any results financially, or you were giving your time to others and you weren't getting it for yourself. So you've tried to strengthen your body physically, which is strengthening your capacity mentally. And what that's doing is it's basically allowing you to walk more aligned with your nature, with your path. And you feel more embodied, like you feel more purposeful in whatever it is that you're doing. See, and now you're able to give to your family through this work, that whatever it is that you're doing, this is all about work. And so strengthening your body so that you could become a resource to your family, so that you could provide from them, because I have the feeling that you might be that type of person who like prepares for the worst, or you kind of like you're almost a overt realist in a way, and you'll do anything to avoid being in this Five of Pentacles energy, because you're showing up as the victor. So, and the way that these pentacles transform are through the wands. So realize that you have the elements in your chart that are very strong are, earth and fire, obviously, and a little bit of water, but very much earth and fire. So you had to temper this heat through this athleticism, or through whatever it was that you were doing as the Knight of Wands, in order to become strong enough to bring in this victory. And you're moving away from whatever it was that happened. And you're finding this prosperity, you're finding this fulfillment and this joy. And it's related to your family. For some of you, maybe you couldn't be with your family. There are certain people in this reading that are like, I'm getting like military spouses. That's definitely happening here. Someone had to work really hard to be able to, now you're in this place where you're going to have this time. And that compass is like, I'm seeing that as time. There's some sort of see, you hear that? That is representative of whatever it was, like military. Like you didn't have time. You were on the clock then, and you had to perform those routines. Let's shuffle these, because I don't want that. I don't know if I shuffled them. So you're forgiving yourself, and you're having a rebirth, and you're integrating what it is that you've learned. So maybe you had to, there's someone who had to, it's almost like you had a position that kind of forced you to do difficult things. and you just had to do it because it was your job. So now you're in this place where you're walking into a new life. And you're learning how to integrate into society and with your family again. So you're moving away from this.